A very good evening to you once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. With me, Wadulo Mark Arnold and Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Now, to start off, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has led a delegation of investors from the United Arab Emirates to 3 fruit markets in Luweero district, Wabulenzi, Kasana and Bali Chejusa. Nabanja, flanked by ministers and Uganda Investment Authority team, guided the investors who have shown interest in establishing fruit beverage processing factories in the country. Let's have a detailed report.
Robina Nabanja says that President Yoweri Museveni wants to address the issue of wastage facing both farmers and traders by adding value and also ensuring the marketability of products made in Uganda. Nabanja says that whenever he passes by the markets, he sees rotting products which would otherwise be preserved and exported to other countries.
And we are here, the president directed me to show you one of the markets where we make wastage. And we want to see as a country that we stop wastage of our products, add value on it, export, so that we can get more fun.
And other people can use it, benefit from it.
Yes, like a UAE, like any other countries across the country. So our people, as you can see, they are happy to see.
After visiting the markets, Nabanja, on behalf of the president, also presided over the launch of the construction of Luweero Butalangu Road to ease transport.
Or to launch the construction of a road from Luweero up to Butalangu just today.
The head of the delegation, Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Maktoum, says that they are ready to start investment in agroforestry, food and fruit processing in addition to a gold refinery. The team is to also visit Entebbe International Airport to assess the progress of the cold hub so that they can immediately start exporting Ugandan fruits and foods to UAE and other countries. I'm Nafka Farida, reporting.
A section of the National Resistance Movement leaders in Kampala, led by the Lubaga Division RCC Anderson Burora, have today held a prayer session for the quick recovery of the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Now, this comes in days after the President Museveni made a public communication to where he had tested positive for COVID-19. Details in this report.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni made a public statement during the State of National Address that he had tested positive for COVID-19. It's on the same pronouncement that he declared Prime Minister Robina Nabanja to preside over Heroes Day celebrations. In solidarity with the President and the NRM party, a section of the National Resistance Movement leaders from Kampala, led by Lubaga RCC Anderson Burora, held prayers at Nakasero State House entrance for President's quick recovery. Burora was in company of other NRM leaders, including the Mayor of Kampala Central Salimu Uhuru. They carried a poster bearing a message for the head of state's quick recovery.
His Excellency Mr. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni olw'obulwadde naye abambaddemu ebyobufuzi mu President alimba nanyini mulambu agamba nti ndi mulwadde kakasa nti ndi mulwadde fe mu Buganda okutubwafiira omugamba nga kitalo bw'alaala omugamba ng'olabye n'obulwadde
bukyanga tubeerawo tetuliyako nti omukulembeze yalwadde era n'olya nti omukulembeze tagenze ku mirimu nti olw'okuba yalwadde kyannaku era tuze okumusaasira.
Burora says it's okay to pray for the sick people in Africa, thus calling upon the general public to join in and pray for the head of state.
To express your sympathy and prayers, and also to wish him the get well soon message that can be pressed there, and I'm sure he will see it. So with that, we welcome the general public to come. Don't care your political affiliation, where you come from. Yes, this is a security installation. but we have been cleared and allowed to come and express.
The Mayor of Kampala Central, Salim Uhuru, advised the public to continue following Minister of Health guidelines on COVID-19.
The president has taken all precautions to see he doesn't get the coronavirus, but you can see he has got it. So it's upon you as a Ugandan, you who loves your life, take care of your life.
Other NRM Kampala leaders, who were also in solidarity, prayed for the quick recovery of the president.
Okwagaliza president waffe asobole okudda engulu, asobole okuwona obulungi obulwadde, adde mu ofiisi addukanye eggwanga.
Today marks the 4th day since President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni went in isolation after testing positive for COVID-19. Deborah Namamonde, Andrew Sebira, UBC.
The body of the slain former MP of Lubaga South, Kato Lubwama, has been brought to his home in Mutundwe for the relatives and friends to pay their respects. Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, on behalf of government, pledged to support the deceased's dreams towards his theatrical works.
Saturday afternoon, the body of former Lubaga South Member of Parliament Kato Lubwama was delivered to his home. The body was welcomed by Democratic Party and Solidar members amidst appreciation for his political services, as the flags in the DP party colors waved high. The atmosphere was one of tears, as many consoled themselves and grieved his life. The prayer service welcoming Kato Lubwama to his home since his demise was led by Pastor Aloysius Bujingo.
Toluusi bawambibwa, ne bafulumizibwa, ne batwalibwa, ne bataddamu kulabikirako ddala. Naye tukwebaza nti ffenna abali wano tufunyeeko ku mukisa okujjanjaba Paul Kato Lubwama.
The artists were represented by Omumbeja Mariam Ndagire, who praised the late Kato Lubwama's endeavors towards a former theatrical journey. However, she broke into tears in the course of her speech.
Nsubiddwa nnyo omuntu gwe sisobolaga nti mwannyinaze. Nsubiddwa foundation. Nsubiddwa wachitange kalenga kumekeza zenonge enozange.
The artists pledged to fulfill some of the latest dreams in the sphere of art, drama and theatre.
Leeta abantu nga budakikamba mugamba Kato otusombedde bannange otusombedde ekisaawe okijjuza nga gaye nkyaleeta. Kato tazikawo. Tetumanyi bwe tugenda kuba mu kisaawe kino naye tugenda guma ebirooto bye tusobole okubitwala mu maaso.
The Chief Mourner Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa implored Kato Lubwama for being a mediator who united political factions, appreciating his work towards the theatre.
Wewaroli n'omuntu ngoyo yeepaaka ngalowooza w'amaanyi mwali mumusindikira Kato. Kato ng'akuyita nga takuuze kung'ebanga ebintu gwe weepaaka ate gwe weepaaka biki gwe anaakumanyi. Waliwo omukyala omu mu palamenti omwe yali nga w'amaanyi nga Kato n'amutwerera kwawo mu kantiini. Yari akuleeta ku level. Tewali bino ebyokugamba. Omanyi abantu lowooza tuli b'amaanyi. Weeraba n'olowooza nti nze tuli bakitiibwa, tuli b'amaanyi biki. Bino byonna bya nsi bigwako.
Tayebwa promised to assist the actors in fulfilling some of Kato Lubwama's dreams, especially in the plans to build a theatre.
Tewali government eyinza ku avoidinga abantu abali organized. Ate okubeera organized kyakulaba nti mufuna eddoboozi limu ne mutambula n'eddoboozi limu. kubanga obudde bw'okugenda mu state nginza butabeera nabwo naye abampagira bagenda mu state tugenda kubayamba okukola ekyo mujja kujja twogere ku bya budget ebibadde tuyambeko.
Ivan Juko for UBC.
May the deceased soul rest in eternal peace. Now, the Bishop of North Karamoja Diocese, the Right Reverend Simon Akol Aisu, wants government to set up a specific program for reformed warriors to discourage them from joining criminal bandits. Akol wants continuous disarmament conducted in the 9 districts of Karamoja. Bishop Akol was officiating prayers organized by the Favor of God Ministries in Kotido municipality.
Kotido district is the home of GE people, and according to security forces and other people from different parts of Karamoja, it's the GE that fuel conflicts in Karamoja and its neighborhoods. It's from this background that Favor of God Ministries held prayers in Kotido district, attended by church leaders, political leaders, local leaders, and reformed warriors.
Are crying, and within Karamoja there is also crying because these warriors have turned to be raiding from both within and also outside. So we are not at peace either. Neither them, the population.
Pastor Samuel Okelo says they want to transform Karamoja through empowering women and providing psychosocial support to warriors.
We empower women and give them livelihood skills and give them capital to start up income generating activities, trainings in different villages, and Bible training for local leaders.
The Bishop of North Karamoja, Right Reverend Simon Akol Aisu, has a message to government.
It should be continuous disarmament in a way that even after those who have been disarmed, there should be a program that is addressing their needs so that they don't go back. They don't remember all these stories. So there should be a new thing overtaking their mind.
The mayor of Kotido municipality, Peter Abrahams Elara, commended Favors of God Ministries for their efforts to transform Karamoja.
In involving the women and the youth in the peace building, in embracing peace, so that this region, so that Karamoja move like the way other part of the country is. So I would like to thank the Favor of God's Ministry, International.
They prayed for unity and peace among leaders.
The State Minister for Tourism has painted 2 classroom blocks at Kiju Hill Primary School in Patiko Sub-County in Gulu District and donated scholastic materials including sanitary towels to girls. This was during a 5-day tour codenamed Explore the North campaign aimed at raising awareness to the public to embrace domestic tourism, hence revamping Uganda's tourism from the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kiju Hill Primary School is a Catholic-founded and one of the government-aided schools in Gulu District. It was established way back in 1937 with a population of over 868 pupils. According to the head teacher Adong Charles, the school is facing a number of challenges including inadequate structures and desks due to increasing number of pupils.
The school does not have the library room. School does not have the storeroom. The school is left wide open, not fenced, making it easy for trespassers.
The school has 11 teachers, which has apparently affected learners' performance.
The school is a little bit understaffed because we are only 11 on government payroll, serving a population of 868 pupils.
First of all, this was revealed during the Explore North campaign that comprised of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities and Uganda Tourism Board personnel. State Minister for Tourism Martin Mugara Bahinduka with his delegation painted 2 classroom blocks to facilitate a conducive study environment for pupils.
A number of issues were raised. I got a report from the headmaster And I want to assure you that the issues you've raised, I'll pass on to the Minister of Education. At least that's a commitment I'll take. And I know that we visited this school, there will be some few changes that will come with it.
The minister, together with other agencies, donated scholastic materials to pupils like pens, books, water purifiers and sanitary towels to aid girl child's stay in school.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Local leaders and cultural heads extended gratitude to the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities for the gesture and called for more support from the government.
We have a lot of amenities for tourists to visit. We just need to enhance them, and we seek for your support to make sure that this comes to fruition and to help the school also develop.
So it would be precious to us in the region that this school should be renamed Anyadwe Primary School. What was done by President Amin should be reversed by this particular government. And you have more than enough capacity to do that.
A group of over 100 local tourists proceeded to Noya district and visited Apoyo Primary School, where the minister pledged 50 bags of cement to finish the construction of 2 structures. Being in the Makshan Falls Conservation Area, the school has become a home to the wild animals which roam the area. I'm Nafka Farida and Sulaka Gugube.
A number of communities in Busia district reportedly consume untreated water, according to a survey conducted recently by Evidence Action Project. This follows increasing cases of typhoid and water shortage in most health facilities in the district, estimated at 62% monthly. Details in this report.
A recent survey by Evidence Action Project indicates that a big number of Busia residents are consuming contaminated water. The project coordinator, Evidence Action, Nabutali Julius, expressed concern over most people taking contaminated water all over the district. He added that there are 3 stages of water contamination which might put the lives of people at risk of acquiring waterborne diseases.
The 3 process how water gets contaminated. That's why Evidence Action came into place to do what? To provide chlorine in connection or with partnership with the government, provide chlorine so that we can treat our water in order to drink or to use safe water at home.
Residents in Buwanda village appreciate Evidence Action for the initiative of providing chlorine at every borehole.
Evidence Action otuletera amalezi okukozesa mu maji kubebala.
Wandera Patrick, the chairman, Buwanda Village in Masafu Town Council, encouraged residents to embrace the project. The senior district environmental officer, Luweero Tony, says that water from boreholes cannot be regarded as pure water because most latrines in Busia are not drilled or dug 100 meters away from the water sources.
That is why there is this dosing of chlorine. Dosing of this chlorine at these water points, such that if there was a possibility of some germs within the water, then this chlorine will work on it and it dies, and the water taken home is safe.
Luweero added that as a district, they will continue sensitizing the community about the use of chlorine and also creating awareness about drilling and digging latrines 100 meters away from homes.
These ones we think are nearer the facility, not more than 100 feet from the water point. Then there is a possibility of water getting contaminated through the feces deposited into the pit underneath the ground. There is some continuous percolation underneath there up to the water aquifer where water comes from. So we may not take it 100% that water which comes from a borehole is 100% pure.
At Busia District General Hospital at Masafu, Dr. Amoni Bwambale, on a phone interview, said they have no typhoid machines for testing patients, but all is done on guesswork.
The reason it is hard to tell, we don't test typhoid.
Let's now take a short commercial break and return with more UBC News Tonight. Please do stay tuned.
ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *185*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
The Ministry of Health will conduct yellow fever preventive mass vaccination campaign for all persons aged 9 months up to 60 years. These people should have never been vaccinated against yellow fever. The yellow fever campaign will be conducted in phases, with the first phase covering districts in the regions of Arua, Guru, Lira, Kabare, Kabarore, and Hoima. The campaign will begin on the 9th of June and end on the 13th of June 2023 and will be conducted in all government health facilities and outreach posts. All parents and caregivers are requested to take their children aged 9 months to the nearest health facility and outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever disease. All adults aged up to 60 years but have never been vaccinated should go to health facilities and vaccination outreach posts to get vaccinated against yellow fever. Ministry of Health calls upon everybody to report any person who presents with signs and symptoms such as yellowing of eyes, fever, headache, muscle pain, feeling of vomiting or nausea, vomiting, and general body weakness or fatigue to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately for medical attention. This could be yellow fever. Yellow fever vaccine is a single dose given once in a lifetime. The yellow fever vaccine is safe, effective, and free. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now, just coming in, Prime Minister Robin Nabanja is in Hoima to celebrate the Kasiki of the Empango ya Bunyoro. Right about now, we have live updates and we're going to be sharing with you a few highlights of what the atmosphere is looking like.
Baitu Empango yo Burundi kuno abagire sere no abikeke Bunyero Chitara Kingdom referendum Prime Minister ndo abasasubira bile bitu yoni apenda mwegonze kelinye to bya Bunyoro bwana mno mutera Prime Minister ngaro Ruben mno Bunyoro Balam Abanyoro Muliyo nali Kata kuamura Masangaliwe Kale ya Mwoza kumatangi na Chokino Kuiga mkoro bunu Kugo mujato Empango ya matumia minda mwenda Kahumba Abatumie Abakaguize Kandi Asingire kamuzika Mkirahanu Mkirahanu mkazi wange Adiye ndozi ya mtada Nasendekelize Kuija mkoro bunu Mwenda kumasina mwenda Kuija kwa kujaguza myaka 29 turuga kabumba ajumule ngoma tutere mungale kamatu mwaka kusima mnyoro barugahala teni amweteka mzeni yule waitu wema mneteka mzeni tutere mungale mwaka kusima mbana breweries watu wale ni kunywa hanu mugenda kubona munywa muri amukoro guno n'abantu baterewe mungale ukira basajja Dr. Sofol Kamani bafamusa ikulo mukama waitu asobozeseze omukoro guno kubaho yatulagira omukama guno tumuterewo mu ngalo kabumba ngoza kubasaba mujaguze n'obusinge tinikwo mujaguze n'obujunanizibwa tinikwo hatabaho engeso mbi zona mukura mwerinde ebikorwa ebikusobola kurugwamu okutara ebikusobola kurugwamu endwara oburwaire bwa sirimu bukyaro mukimanyire nabwekyo mwegendereze mujaguze n'obujunanizibwa nyenkya tukubetaga karuzika ulire nyenka tujja kuba tujaguza karuzika tukubetaga muri bomezi abokuba emikoro ntihagenda kuba kandi haje kuba yebyokulya nebyokunywa nabwekyo mwije kandi mwijo mbwingi naweke ningoza kukinguraho omujato gunu ogwo mwaka gwa 2023 omujato gw'empango y'obukama bwa bunyoro kitara nabwekyo omukoro guno tugenda gukinguraho kandi agenda kuba fireworks nabwekyo mwegonze nimwegendereza mulinde obusinge mwegonze n'obujunanizibwa inywe abebembezi baitu abagenda kwebembera obukama nyenkya tinikwo tukubetaga muri bomezi mwina amani kandi mutaina buzibu bwona
Looks like the place to be doesn't need to be advertised right about now. More in our news tonight. Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examinations Board has issued a warning to illegal institutions that lead to inadequate skills acquisition. This was highlighted during a briefing of examination monitors and center coordinators ahead of the next phase of the exams starting this Monday.
Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board will, starting on Monday, conduct the 35th series of examinations, which are also the 11th semester examinations in 118 examination centers countrywide. Ahead of the examination session that will have more than 50,000 students, the board has briefed examination monitors and center coordinators. Several issues were addressed, notable of which was a warning to illegal institutions that lead to inadequate skills acquisition.
There are some illegal schools which negotiate with the legal ones to register their students for examinations. So the first time we had we received the information, we put feelers in place to tell us to try and find out which these schools. And indeed, we got about 3 big schools, about 130-something students who are going to sit our examinations, and from illegal schools. So we called those schools, we called the illegal ones, and we talked about it, and we referred them to Commissioner. But we are continuing with our feelers to find out those people who are doing it. Later on, I think we'll take it further to the ministry, so that even the one which is legal stops, because it's not good, including the teachers. Some teachers escape to go and teach their theory, and they leave the legal ones where they are supposed to teach. The legal students do not get all that information, and they run to other illegal schools.
We want to advise the public to resist from such practices. Of course, we are seeing many people who are coming on board. They want to operate health training institutions, but don't be tempted to admit a student before you get a license.
Over 300 residents of Chiwanga Seta village in Mukono district have received free medical treatment from a medical camp organized by the Kampala Victoria Lions Club. Health experts, however, have expressed concerns over the increasing number of obese children and high blood pressure in the adults, which is on the increase. Details in this report.
Dr. Emmanuel Chisamba has warned the parents over the increased cases of obesity in children, which is a threat to the children's lives.
Children are not walking. Parents, please watch the things that you give your children. Take to school. Don't give a lot of sugars and fine sugars like biscuits, like crisps. Don't give them. And then teachers, I would urge you, please allow these children to do some exercise at the school. Non-communicable diseases like cancers, diabetes and hypertension are very much on the increase.
In a medical camp organized by Kampala Victoria Lions Club for the people of Chiwanga Seta in Mukono, doctors discovered that high blood pressure is still a big problem among the elderly.
We've realized that hypertension, diabetes and others are due to the pressure people are experiencing today. The economy is tight, people don't have the money. Unfortunately, when they come to the government hospitals, there is no medicine. So we've decided as Kampala Victoria Lions Club to extend this medical care to these people in this community of Chiwanga.
The president Kampala Victoria Lions Club, Dr. Emmanuel Chisamba, explains the reasons why they have decided to provide medical treatment to the people of Chiwanga Seta Mukono.
We are checking HIV, diabetes, high blood pressure. We are checking for hepatitis B, syphilis. All those ones we are doing them free of charge to the community around.
A nurse was among those who provided treatment to residents. Salama Nambi urged people to always go for physical exercises to avoid non-communicable diseases.
Spare at least 30 minutes every day. You can choose either morning or evening and exercise. You can decide to walk, you can decide to run, to jog. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Drink more water rather than juice. If you can avoid sugar or take a little, the better. Reduce on alcohol intake, tobacco, and also reduce on coffee intake.
However, residents during the medical camp decried the increasing cases of malaria in the area and called for Ministry of Health's intervention.
Because we have a lot of mosquitoes around. That one I'm very sure of. Another problem, I think, if we could get people from the Ministry of Health to keep around sensitizing people what to do, how to prevent, that would be a very good thing. But again, my point is such events should go to the villages where many people don't even know such things happen. So that if people get exposed, they will know what to do in time before things go wrong.
Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Farmers have been challenged to improve on post-harvest handling of grains in order to reap better returns as the country's grain production continues to increase. In maize subsector alone, the country's production has jumped to 2.5 tons as of 2019 from 800,000 tons in the year 2000.
It's estimated that farmers lose about 30% of their produce due to poor storage and bad post-harvest handling.
How many, for example, Ugandans are drying their maize on tapoli? You can imagine when you move around, just from Kampala going to up country, you'll find people drying grain in the road or on the floor. And that one distorts the quality of the grain. Instead of drying it on tapoli, because I would talk of dryers, but of course the dryers and the cleaners are costly. But they are cheaper means of how to handle post-harvest, to make sure that we have quality food, because
Government has now enlisted the support of private warehouse operators to help farmers improve on the storage of the grain.
I'm happy that the government has come in with warehousing receipt system, which we are talking about today. And here we are at a store that is ready for licensing. And licensing, what do we mean here? Our main focus is standardization. Yes, there is a store. Does it meet the required standards in order for it to maintain quality food? Yes, so here we are, and I want to call upon all farmers, cooperatives, let us learn. Yes, I know we may be having some stores outside there, owned by cooperatives, by the private sector, but let us all ensure that these storage facilities meet the required standards.
One of the private sector players selected include Aponye Grain Storage Facility that is assisting farmers in Mubende district, and it is hoped this will enable farmers access better markets and prices.
When you look at this facility, these are points for bringing together all parties, all people who are charged with grain, especially maize. So how they help the grain sector? They facilitate to bring grain from different areas, from different farmers, from different parties. And then on top of that, as people bring their grain, they transit to what we call quality. There's a point of check to the quality of what kind of grain is acceptable, what kind of grain is what for the market.
The government is supporting the farmers using the public-private partnership procedure through the Warehouse Receipt System Authority.
As within the Warehouse Receipt System Authority, we seek to serve farmers and to affect the warehouse receipt. Now, the adoption of warehouse receipt would it requires partners among the community as warehouse operators, where farmers can come, aggregate, and deposit their commodities. For services, among other services, we have cleaning services, drain services, bagging, like you can see in the background, and then we shall be having the receiving services also done here.
Engaging private warehouse operators to help farmers in improving the storage of grain will go a long way in bettering the grain value chain and help the farmers and the country as a whole to earn more.
I do beg your pardon from the story before. The country's production has jumped from 2.5 million tons as of 2019 from 800,000 tons in the year 2000. Now, in other news, cattle traders operating in Karamoja sub-region want government to suspend cattle markets until the security situation in the region normalizes. Traders said that they have been making losses since the new guidelines were put in place. Let's have a look at the detailed report.
Karamoja recently gazetted 2 routes for cattle traders in the region via Nadunget roadblock and via Kitugum for verification. Traders from Amdat, Nabilakut, Nakapirpit, Napak, Moroto and Kotido districts have to pass via Nadunget, while those from Kabong and Karenga districts have to pass via Kitugum. This was aimed at reducing the commercialized raids in the region, which is alleged that it is facilitated by businessmen. This week, over 200 heads of cattle were raided in Nakapiri Pit and some were recovered. People whose livestock were recovered were invited at Nadunget roadblock to identify their animals from the trucks.
So one truck was gotten with 4 animals, another truck, because another truck was gotten with 1, another one cow. So all of them are 6 cows which have already been identified, and exercise is still on.
Traders were not happy with the security forces for making them wait for them to buy the animals and make them suffer on the way.
The market is opened. People have the right to go and buy cows. On reaching Moroto barracks, some Karamoja come on the road and say that this is my cow. They take it. For me now, I'm losing 2 cows, which are equivalent to 3 million. So we are making a big loss, plus a very long journey from Kalita to Moroto to Soroti, Mbale, Jinja, up to Kampala.
Been paying just 60, but now we are paying 150 per cow.
Thousands of animals in the market, which makes it hard for the owner to come and identify stolen animals. So we said, no, isn't this work. All of you come where we verify from. They come here, they identify their animals. Reasons: traders are not being helped so much. Reason: they buy animals without letters of chairman LC1. We told them we have been singing the same song of traceability of animals. Right now, these animals which are identified from trucks, they don't have letters of chairman LC1.
The head of checkpoints and animal markets at Anti-Stock Theft Unit, Webstone Mugabe, explains the fate of the owners.
From writing statements, animals are going to be kept here at the holding ground. We shall investigate, because some of the traders, they have photos.
Kato traders want livestock markets in Karamoja suspended so that the security situation can stabilize fast.
Says the President of the Republic of Uganda to close all the markets in Karamoja. No solution. But if the markets are working and people are stealing cows, there is no solution.
Balekere bamaledi entambuka zaabwe ekyokubiri batukyukize ekkubo oba baagala tugule ente tuyitire emiyembe okukisinga okujja eno ng'ate batutulugunya.
They arrest you today, they arrest you tomorrow with stolen cows. Why can't they buy Bukedia? They cannot. They must come to where? To Karamoja, because a cow in Bukedia, which is a cow of 2 million, here in Karamoja they are buying it at 1 million or 700. Issues of closing the market, I think that one we shall discuss it at a higher level. That one is beyond my limits.
Lolengdrat chairperson Emmanuel Longs Lorika welcomes the idea.
For those ones who are maybe outside Karamoja, but the markets can continue within the region.
Karamoja sub-region has 28 gazetted markets, and traders from all over Uganda come and buy cattle.
Farmers in Shema district have appreciated the National Resistance Movement government efforts towards improved agriculture, but call for more support towards equipment to enable year-long production. Irrigation equipment like sprinklers and pumps, which help during the dry spells, are some of the equipment farmers say that will progress them to a commercial level.
I'm with the best coffee farmer here. I'm requesting the government at least to give our farmers irrigation equipments, because once we have irrigation system, we are remaining harvesting coffee at every season, like to wait for the rainy season. So I'm requesting the government at least help us with irrigation equipments, such that we can remaining harvesting coffee. And once we are remaining harvesting coffee, automatically we are remaining with money. And once we have money, we cannot be beggars. So government should intervene and give us irrigation system.
From President Museveni, ahabwa amana gakuta no kutamani kwinkarajinga utobase kutamani ombyo kuhinga kandi no buzo bwa kuchira kuta kandi ni tekatenga bakumukuratira no bahika acho bari kwenda no muri gecho ni shaba nka President no kuyaba restrenades advisory services agarike azigaruje ngo kuzabe ziri zibase kuta services na no kutu kutuyamba mu kuteekateekera mu by'okuhinga ahabw'okuba eki kiyaba atandikire kyenyine nikyo kyabenkiza kutukorera kandi nteekateeka abamwe bwakikwasire turiyo nitukikozesa.
And now in the world of sports, the Omukama of Bunyoro Chitara Kingdom has dedicated the proceeds of this year's Empango Marathon to Chikube District Health Center to procure an incubator machine for the premature babies. The marathon that attracted thousands of Bunyoro Chitara Kingdom subjects across the kingdom for this year's commemoration of 29 years of Omukama Dr. Solomon Iguru Gapabusa's reign as King of Bunyoro.
Hoima has witnessed the 2023 Empango run that was flagged off by Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom Queen Mother Omugo Margaret Karunga Adieri at Karuzika Palace. The Kingdom Prime Minister Andrew Yakutaga commended the subjects for turning up in big numbers for the run, which he says promotes unity. He also called upon the subjects to honor the forthcoming coronation anniversary on June 11th to celebrate Omukama Iguru's 29 years on the throne.
Watakiwa lakini tukiweka tukikirize enteekaniza yaitu y'okukoma y'okutwala obwomeezi abatumbe bakalumba maisi kukalumba itagiri.
The proceeds from the run were dedicated to Kikube Health Center for procurement of an incubator to help reduce premature babies, whose current numbers have worryingly been about 30 every 60 to 90 days.
The incubator is a very special machine. It's mainly used for managing the children, the infants who are born prematurely before the 9 months. The special thing about that machine, the incubator, is it has some resemblance, some environment like that of a uterus in a mother.
We have been having challenges where you find women, they come in most cases where we find that we have babies who are born before they are mature.
The people of Kikube wrote to us, give us an invoice from JMS and said, this is what we want to have.
This Empango run was achieved in partnership with a local radio outlet, Spice FM.
Uganda Dance Sport Federation has hosted a capacity building workshop aimed at arming the youth with key virtues of the sport. Now, this was hosted at the Federation head offices in Mengo, as these details share with us.
Participants from more than 25 schools have attended the Uganda Dance Sport Federation's Students Capacity Building Workshop.
We have conducted a students capacity building. Last week we contacted the delegates. Today it is students and teachers. As a federation, we are trying to empower the future, to strengthen the future by equipping today. So we are trying to equip our learners how the technicalities of the sport, the genesis of our sport, and also the elements in the sport, the judging, the emceeing, and also the DJing, because these are the components we use in our sport.
Organized to fit within the Federation's motto of Dance Sport, a sport for all, the workshop was open to participants of all ages. Participants were from schools like Kato Senior Secondary School, St. Lawrence Schools, Nyakasura School, St. Mark's College Namagoma, and Entebbe Secondary School.
So so far we have got 25 schools present here. Each school presented to us 3 students, 1 student for emceeing, 1 student for DJing, and 1 student for judging. And they are going to help us even in our competitions to officiate the games. At this level, we're going to start with them as assistants, but we have satisfied them and are going to be able even to conduct other international national activities, especially in the competitions. And I think it is very important a student to judge a fellow student.
As the Federation targets capacity building at university and tertiary institutions, focus will also turn to the Uganda Senior Secondary School Sports Association regional qualifiers. John Barnes, Centum, UBC News.
exactly what they mean when it comes to the new curriculum. Now, it has been a mixed day for the Ugandan cricket team as the Victoria Pearls registered 29 runs win in their opening game against Botswana in the Kwibuka Women's T20 tournament happening in Kigali, Rwanda. And the Cricket Cranes suffered their first loss in the T20 Continental Cup when Kenya defeated them by 88 runs in the second game that was played at Gymkhana in Nairobi, Kenya.
After an impressive start to the T20 Continental Cup tournament yesterday, where the Cricket Cranes defeated Botswana by 6 wickets in just 13 overs, Uganda was off to a rough day today against Kenya as they suffered a humiliating 88 runs loss. Uganda was elected to bowl first, and right from the start, Kenya proved the better side with the bat posting 185 runs for 3 wickets. When the Cranes came to bat, Roger Mkasa showed some promise but was caught after only 44 runs. Onwards, the team continued to struggle against a better Kenyan bowling side, with the top batsman Simon Sesazi getting a duck and Riyazat Alisha getting a golden duck. Eventually, Uganda gave out in the 14th over with 97 runs, all out.
Yeah, full credit to Kenya. I thought they played really well. They executed. Colin Zoboya and Rakeb Patel batted really well. But, you know, I'd like to credit my bowlers as well. At one point, it looked like they would get more than 200. I thought we bounced back strongly. You know, just 1 or 2 things went sideways where we didn't execute. The margins were not 200. And, you know, we plan to use this tournament to, you know, keep experimenting with, you know, staying as positive as possible and, you know, coming out to play with intent. Unfortunately, today it didn't work out, but, you know, we'll keep playing that way in this tournament. We'll keep, you know, urging the batsmen to come out with intent, express themselves, and if the ball is in their area, to keep trying to keep it over the rope. I don't think the template will change much. You know, it worked for us against Botswana. It didn't work today. That's the way the game goes sometimes. So tomorrow again, we'll come out, we'll stay positive. You know, we'll ask the guys to go out there and execute their skills, express themselves, and, you know, just be positive. Try and score as many runs as possible.
On a brighter side, the Victoria Pearls were off to a good start in the Kwibuka T20 Women's Tournament, registering a much-needed 29 runs win against Botswana. The Pearls elected to bat first, and though they were sloppy with the bat, they managed to post 89 runs for 6 in 20 overs. Botswana chased in the second innings, registering only 60 runs for 9, hence losing to Uganda.
Basically, the game today, we batted first. We won the toss and chose to bat, and we struggled a bit with our batting, especially on the top order. We lost an early wicket, Prosy, you know, getting out of, you know, a bad call, and then myself. But thankfully, Rita Musamali and Stephanie, you know, came up and had a very good partnership, and we ended up scoring 88 runs on board. In the fielding, I think we did really well. Irene, Evelyn, Concy herself, I think came up to, you know, and put up a really good fight to defend, you know, the score. We had very many dose balls. We're lucky we got very many. I mean, the first 3 wickets were picked in the first 3 balls, which was really good bowling from Irene. So yeah, I think we fielded quite well, and were able to secure a win. We are excited about this tournament, and hopefully we are, you know, going to go into the next game with a lot of, you know, positivity and, you know, hopes of winning the tournament.
Both teams will be back in action against Rwanda tomorrow, 11th June 2023. The ladies' game will be played at 2:15 p.m. at Chichichiro Cricket Oval in Kigali, Rwanda, and the gents' game will be played at 1:30 p.m. at Gymkhana Grounds in Nairobi, Kenya. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
And now in soccer, Uganda Matters Lubaga Women Football Club have been crowned champions of the 2022-23 FUFA Women's Cup after defeating She Maroons 1-0 in the final played Saturday 10th June at Bishop Maraka College Playground in Kumi District.
In a closely contested final between Shimaroons and Uganda Matters Rubaga played at Bishop Maraka College Playground in Kumi District. Uganda Matters captain Catherine Nagadia scored the only goal of the game that led Uganda Matters to glory. The decisive moment came in the 78th minute when Nagadia found the breakthrough that sealed the club's victory.
Today I'm very happy because we managed to win this trophy. It is my first trophy as a coach and the first trophy for the school, so we are happy. It has been a collective effort to win this trophy, and the players, the technical staff,
Uganda Matters becomes the fourth team to win the FUFA Women's Cup following Olila High School, UCU Lady Cardinals and Makerere University Women Football Clubs. Individual accolades went to Anita Babidie from Shimaroons as the top scorer, Catherine Nagadia from Uganda Matters as the most valuable player, and Sharon Nora from Uganda Matters as the best goalkeeper. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. With me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. We now leave you with the weather forecast with Molen Kenyana.
Hello there, good evening, and many thanks for watching UBC News. My name is Molen Kenyana, here to take you through the weather report. Now, we're continuing to see rains across several places within the country, and that has been mainly because of the local effect, with mostly influences from Lake Victoria as well as the Mount Elgon region. That is where we're seeing a lot of the rains coming through. And then at the same time, we also have part of the rain belt that is now extending towards the northern part of the country, and that explains the rains that we're seeing across the Karamoja region and parts of northern Uganda. Otherwise, we have a slight reduction in rains across the rest of the country. But looking at that, we're also having a forecast for tomorrow indicating a few showers expected across the Lake Victoria Basin, but parts of central Uganda are expected to start off with a mix of clouds and sunshine. And also looking at eastern Uganda, we do expect that we'll have rains across parts of Jinja, Tororo, but Soroti will start up with mostly as well a mix of clouds and sunshine. And the western part of the country will still have approach sunshine, but that will be blending in with clouds, and that will be for several places within the region. Looking at the northern part of the country, we're also expecting to have mostly a pretty sunny morning with intervals of cloudy conditions. Now, as we cross over into the afternoon, we do expect that we'll have more rains developing across parts of central and the Lake Victoria Basin. Quite a hot one for Nakasongola. We have temperatures going up to 30 degrees. And across the nation's capital, we'll have temperatures going up to 28. That will be for Kampala and the Lake Victoria Basin. For eastern Uganda, we do expect that we'll have a pickup in wet weather activities, and that will be across several places. Soroti expected to be at 29 degrees. Moving over to the western part of the country, we'll still be looking at those sunny intervals, but midwestern, we start to see some rains come through, and temperatures will be at 28 degrees for most of those areas. And across the northern part of the country, we maintain those sunny intervals, but then we have temperatures going up a bit. We'll have temperatures go up to 30 degrees, quite hot for Lira, and much of the northern part will be in the upper 20s. Now, for some of the cities that we have across the rest of the world, we are forecasting sunny weather. That will be for Dubai as well as Washington, but quite a hot one for Dubai. Temperatures will be at 40 degrees. That will be in the afternoon. Also forecasting sunny intervals for London as well as Nairobi. Pretty cool day for Nairobi. Temperatures will be at 26. Well, that does it for our weather report tonight. My name is Molen Kenyana. I want to wish you a good night.